For the last several episodes, you've made spirals, textures, specialty stitches, little weird yarn creatures pretending to become fabric. And today, we finally stop making pieces and start making something. But first, tell me, what would you make with Freeform Crochet if there were absolutely no limitations? Hey crochet friends, I'm Mo, your crochet companion, and today we're wrapping up the Freeform Crochet series by finishing our projects and talking about all the ways freeform can become something more. Today we're finishing our pillow, talk about reinforcement tricks, embellishments, closures, and where you can take freeform from here. So to do a brief recap on what we have done so far, we started with our foundations. Then we built on those foundations and created surrounds and spirals. Then we worked on texture, creating specialty stitches and creating texture with all the different variety of different stitches. And then we touched on scrambling, how to scramble, and then building our fabric out. And now we're bringing it all together. Now, freeform, it doesn't end where fabric is finished. So I want to talk about finishing possibilities. So some of the things that you can do, like if you decided that you want to make a bag, you can line your bag with some fabric and then creating straps and that kind of stuff. So, and what I do with straps, I reinforce them with bias tape. I create that strength. So on bags, what I do is I will put the bias tape on the edge, the top edge of your bag, and then I actually put the bias tape on the back side of the actual bag itself as well. I do have a tutorial on creating straps and strengthening your straps with bias tape. I would highly recommend popping in there and learning how to do that. I didn't know how to do it myself, and I had to learn. I had to teach myself how to do it. So you guys get the benefit of me teaching you what I've learned through hard knocks. All right, so continuing on, we also want to look at closures and buttons. So a lot of times your bags, they'll have buttons. You can even create your own button if you want to using the freeform. Something simple like using a little piece of cardboard so that it reinforces the button, and then just crochet around the little cardboard piece. That's always an option. And you're going to use it to reinforce wearables or to create texture on a wearable. You can put it on, like, say, the top half of a t-shirt or maybe a Western shirt or something like that, where you want to just line the top of your shirt or put it on sleeves or like maybe on a back pocket of your jeans. That's kind of some of the things that you can do with that. And then one of the things that I really like about freeform is that it gives us a chance to use those fun fabric looking kind of yarns or specialty yarns, like the feathery ones, the tinsely ones, and all those kind of funs, because it allows you to create such a fun, special texture or a visual appeal. I haven't had an opportunity to do that myself just yet, but I am so excited to start doing some of that myself. Basically, because after all this work, we're not letting our bag straps choose violence, right? All right, so are you still with me at this point? Are you following what I'm putting down here? So, all right, now we are going to get to the really fun part. And that's, where do you use the freeform? I already touched on, how you can use your, use it on like shirts and stuff like that. But, you can do it on clothing, create bags, pillows, wall art, accents, wearables. I even seen somebody use slippers and create a funky design on a slipper to create a visual appeal. It was kind of fun. So freeform doesn't have to take over an entire project, but it can be something simple, just a little embellishment here, a little bit embellishment there. Now, this is the part that everybody's probably waiting for, and this is where we are actually going to finish the actual pillow that we started in episode, was it episode 1 or episode 2? I can't remember. I believe it was episode 2. So this is what we started all these episodes ago. This is your pillow. And we're not done yet. So, all right. So let me set this aside. So I actually folded it in half because we are going to need to have it in half. Now, the last episode, we created our first seam and put our two halves together. Now we're going to create the inside of the pillow. So I'm not going to actually demonstrate the whole sewing thing. Went too far back here. But because this is a crochet tutorial, not a sewing tutorial. But what I did is the very template that I used to create my motifs and to create my fabric, I actually am using the same fabric to create the inside of my pillow. So what I did is I sewed around the edge here. I believe it was anywhere between 3/4 to an inch, that edging that I did. And then I made sure that I left an opening so that I can turn it inside out, which is what I'm going to do now. We're going to turn it inside out. And then we're going to stuff it. Inside out, and then we're going to stuff it. And don't worry about, because obviously your thread is going to be on the inside of your pillow. So you don't need to worry about whether your thread matches. In fact, I didn't. And oh my goodness, I have not sewn in a really, really long time. And it is official. I'm probably going to have to get something to help me see that needle. I was dreading the day when somebody would tell me that I was old and that I couldn't see to thread my sewing needle, or, the needle that I put on my sewing machine. And it literally took me probably 15-20 minutes to sew, or to put my thread into my needle. And I had to get a headlamp, and I put my finger behind the needle so I could see where the hole was to put the thread. And it was an absolute nightmare. I probably should have borrowed my husband's glasses. It might have helped a little bit. Anyway. All right, so I've got it inside out, and I just kind of look. I mean, you could have probably snipped the corners diagonally so that your corners would be perfect. But you know what? I'm not looking for perfection when it comes to this pillow, because this is the inside of your pillow, the stuffing of your project, and it's the outside that's going to be your shiny star. Then we take our little opening. I'm going to grab my stuffing and just stuff that stuffing in that little hole. You probably could make a bigger hole than what I did, but I'm not really filling the hole, having to hand sew a really big hole. So if you're like me, you'll deal with the inconvenience of having it a little bit harder to stick your stuffing in, just so you don't have to hand sew the hole shut. It's such a big hole. All right. More stuffing goes in. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we want it to at least look like a pillow, right? That's what we want. And then once we get our pillow stuffed, we sew in our, so we would actually hand sew this little section right here, hand sew that together so that it creates that seam. Looks like I don't have quite enough stuffing in there just yet. So let's put some more in there. Let's put some more in there. All right, let me go ahead and finish stuffing my pillow, and I'm going to put my seam in there. I'm going to sew my seam in there, and then I'll be back with you here. Okay, I got my pillow stuffed. You got yours stuffed? So this is the edging that I did. It's nothing fancy. It's just a whip stitch. You can do the mattress stitch on this as well. That'll help. Either way, it doesn't have to be perfect because this is what's going inside. The next part is what makes it matter. Oh, and get this. So I'm going to show you guys the stuffing that I used. It's this polyfill. That's what I used. And of course, after I got it done stuffing, I found this polyfill stuffing tool. I did not even know that that was a thing. I am so old now that I know I'm not that old, but I feel old now because I'm like, when did they start putting a stuffing stick inside of the polyfill? So, all right. So we've already done one of our edges, right? And now we do, I'm going to do at least 2 more before I actually stick the pillow inside. So you just, obviously I folded this in half already. So this is the edge that I originally put together. And I'm going to take my yarn and we're going to work upside both of these edges. And if you remember from my last, the last episode that I did, how you measure how much yarn you need to go the length of what you are sewing together and just make it a little bit longer. So I'm going to go about that long. Well, why are my scissors being weird? It's probably the operator, aka me. And has anybody noticed as you get older that the hole of the needle seems to be getting smaller? Maybe that's just me. I don't know. And one thing that I like about this is that if you wanted to, you could create this in a way or seam this up in a way so that your fun little edge is hanging off the edge of the pillow. I probably won't do that today, but I think it would be fun. And you can also put an edging on your pillow as well. So if you wanted to just come in and create a fun embellishment on the edge of your pillow, I would say go for it. That's where that specialty yarn comes in. So if you remember from the mattress stitch that I did in the previous video, that's basically all we are doing. We are going to go to the edge here. We're going to be working over that. Well, no, I'm going to leave myself an end and weave it in. And then you're going to just put it in this way. Just like that. And then you're going to go to the opposite side and do the exact same thing. So you want it to be even. And you don't have to do it tight just yet. But you're just going to do the mattress stitch all the way up both sides. Just like that. do it loose to begin with, and then eventually you will tighten it up and watch them disappear. That's the fun part, is watching them disappear. All right, I won't bore you with this part. I'm going to finish this off camera and come back when I have mine done on this side. And then actually, I'm going to do this on both sides, and then we'll come back and reconvene. Oh, before I go, I forgot to show you the most important part, and that's because I just pulled it tight and I realized I hadn't shown you how to do that. So when you're doing it loose to begin with, just like this. And then once you have a few strands, I like to just grab both ends and pull it and watch how it disappeared. That's the fun part. Okay, so now we got our seams, both of our seams. Got this side seamed up. You can't even see the yarn. And this side is seamed up. You can't even see the yarn. So now we get to the fun part. We get to put our pillow inside of our case, basically. And it's not going to fit perfectly, and that's okay. It might be a little bit smaller. I'm not mad at it. You'll just adjust it as you get it in there. And now we have one more edge to seam up. So we're going to do the exact same thing with this. We're going to seam up that edge and finish our pillow out. Just like we did with all the other seams, all the other edges, we're going to take our corner, stab our corner, create a line, and then do our mattress stitch across. Loose it first, and then you tighten as you go. Tighten it down as you go. This really doesn't, once you get into a nice little rhythm, it really doesn't take that long. As you can see, trying to find a good spot to put it. There we go. And I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to tighten this. Watch that disappear. All right, I will catch you at the end here. Okay, look at that. You guys got your first freeform project done. Look at that. That is so super cute. And look, we got a few knobbies sticking out there. I think we got some knobbies over here sticking over the edge too. That just makes it fun. We got little knobbies. And if you want to, you can crochet along the edge and create even more fun and texture. That's completely up to you. It's whatever it is that makes you happy. Look at that. I love it. It is so much fun. And this is basically where all those little pieces finally found their purpose. After all these episodes, we now have a purpose for everything that we just did. All right, so Freeform Crochet never was about making perfect rows. It was about trusting your creativity, one surround, one texture, one little decision at a time. If you've made it through all 7 episodes, you've officially survived the yarn chaos. Until next time, keep those stitches just a little weird, and may your hooks never hide.